now move on to our next speaker, Vidwan Dr. Srinivas Jammalamadaka ji, who will be speaking on the topic an analysis of functionality of Unreal from Śāstra-Siddhānta-Leśa-Saṅgraha of Appayya Dīkṣita. Just a brief introduction. Dr. Srinivas currently works as at Siddhanta Knowledge Foundation as IKS courses coordinator, and he has studied Nyaya Shastra, Vedanta, and Vyakarana under eminent teachers in Gurukula Paddhati. He has also completed his finale exams in Tarka Shastra and has appeared in Vedanta, and he has completed his PhD in Tarka Shastra. He previously worked as assistant professor and served as the director of the School of Shastric Learning at the Kavikulaguru Kalidasa Samskrita University, Ramtek. And currently, as I mentioned, he is with the Siddhanta Foundation, and he is also the co-founder with his brother who came earlier, Suryanarayanji. With him, they both together have started Sri Kameshwari Foundation, and he has been conferred with many awards such as Tarkaratna and Vidwan Mani by Sri Kanchi Shankaracharya and Shastra Kalanidhi by the Madhya Pradesh State Governor. Thank you very much, Srinivas ji. Always a pleasure to have you. Please go ahead and start your session.
Yeah. Thank you, Nitinji. So, शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुर्गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अधिगतभिद्भिदा पूर्वाचार्यानुपेत्य सहस्रधा सरिदिवमहीभेदान् सम्प्राप्य शौरिपदोद्गता जयति भगवत्पाद श्रीमन्मुखाम्बुजनिर्गता जननहरिणी सूक्तिर्ब्रह्माद्वजैकपरायणा. So I would like to thank Nitinji and Indic Academy for once again giving me this opportunity. So today I would like to explore a very interesting topic from one of the Prakarana Granthas of Advaita Vedanta, which is Śāstra-Siddhānta-Leśa-Saṅgraha by Srimad Appayya Dīkṣita. So the Sanskrit title of this talk is Mithya Bhutasya Arthakriya Karitva Vicharaha. So that will be an analysis of the functionality of the unreal. So essentially, this is a very fundamental and very important topic to understand from the Advaitic perspective, because there are two things. One is that to express what is the essence of Advaita is Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. So this is the quote normally we hear, right? Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. So anything other than Brahman is Mithya, and Jagat is also Mithya. So here Mithya, understanding what is Mithya is very much important. And similarly, there is another Upanishad quote like saying that Neha Nanasti Kinchana, which actually propounds the Mithyatvam or the unreality or not being real to the Jagat. So this is very important to know. So after, in the second Paricheda of Siddhānta-Leśa-Saṅgraha, after exploring two Vadas, that is Drishti Srishtivada and Srishta Drishtivada. So Drishti Srishtivada is essentially the idea that perception alone creates the world and there is nothing world actually in real. And the Srishta Drishtivada is the idea that the world exists first and then it is perceived. And this existence of the world is also afterwards being proved to be Mithya. So after this, actually a natural question arises. Katham Midhya Bhutasya Arthakriya Karitvam. So essentially both the previous Vadas state that the Jagat or the world is unreal. So truly they do not exist. So if truly the world does not exist, how come this world function, or how do we experience its functionality? Because whatever we perceive in the world, it is for us to be real. So now there needs to be an examination of the essence or the nature of this functionality. Does functionality of any object requires the object to be real or not, is the question that comes. So how can something unreal or which is illusory still serve a purpose or be functional? For example, how can something that does not truly exist still have practical effects is the fundamental question that comes. So for this, the answer is Swapnavaditi Brumaha. So it is like the dream. So just as things in a dream, they seem to serve a purpose. Like if we take water, it quenches thirst. Even though they are not real, the water is not real, but similarly, they serve a purpose. Similarly, the Jagat also serves a purpose. So then again a question comes, Nanu swapna jaladi sadhya avagahanadi rupartha kriya satyeva. So whatever we are experiencing in dream is not actually real. So whatever the purpose of water in dream, the purpose is also illusory, that is not real. Like, so just like things in a dream, so so essentially that they only the effect or the functionality of that particular object is also not real. So how come this artha kriya karitvam or functionality of any object which is unreal can actually be real is the question. So therefore swapnavad iti brumaha, the answer is, you know, stating that it is like in the dream does not actually suffice, is what the Purvapakshi opines. Then kintu jagrad jaladi sadhya sa satya. So in the awakening state, the water actually serves a purpose, whether to take a bath or quenching thirst. That purpose which is actually experienced in the awakening state, jagradavastha, that is actually real, but not something experienced in the swapnavastha. So therefore, it comes down to this point that if a particular object has to serve a real functionality or a real purpose, then the object has to be real. So therefore, if the world or the Jagat is unreal, is mithya, it cannot actually serve any purpose or functionality. It cannot have any functionality is what it comes down to. So therefore, how can we actually state that the world is mithya, that the world is not real? So then someone, so as Siddhānta-Leśa-Saṅgraha is, we have to understand that it is a compilation of different views or different answers to one particular question, or in a one particular topic, there can be different views within the world of Advaita Vedanta. So here someone says that avishishtam upayatrapi swasamana sattaka artha kriyakaritvam iti kechit. So someone, kechit, they state that there is no real difference. That means in both the cases, whether it is in the dream or in the waking state, the functionality is valid within its respective level of reality. That means the water in dream is serving a purpose in dream. So there the reality, the realm of experience is both same. That is, it comes under the pratibhasika. So as the world, as the swapnavastha is not what you call vyavaharika, it is a pratibhasika, illusory. So therefore, the water is also illusory, the purpose also is illusory. So therefore, there is no difference. And here if we see in the Jagradavastha also, it is a vyavaharika satya. So the jala or the water is vyavaharika and the purpose is also vyavaharika. So therefore, they both have the samana satta. So that means they both share the similar level of reality. That one being pratibhasika and the other being vyavaharika. Therefore, there is no difference. Hence, this can be proved that so this is actually not coming in accordance to the Siddhanta of Advaita Vedanta, where it states that the Brahma itself is the ultimate reality and everything else doesn't actually cease to exist really. So here the answer is not actually fulfilling it, because it is only stating that here it is vyavaharika, there it is pratibhasika. Both the subject and the purpose or the functionality is of the same realm, but that doesn't actually answer the fundamental question. So therefore, Advaita Vidyacharya, so other acharyas, they come up with another argument stating that essentially serving a purpose or having a functionality of any object has nothing to do with its state of reality. स्वप्न पदार्थानां न केवलं प्रबोध बाध्य अर्थक्रियाकारित्व मात्रं स्वप्नांग अंगन भुजंगमादीनां तदबाध्य सुख भयादि जनकत्वस्यापि दर्शनात्. So they say that, they argue that the dream objects or the objects in the dream and events not only seem functional, that means they appear to work for a purpose like quenching thirst, but also evoke genuine emotional reactions such as happiness, fear, or sorrow. So in dream, interacting with objects or beings like meeting a loved one or a snake generates emotions such as joy and fear, which are real. These emotions feel entirely real during the dream. Not only entirely during the dream, but even after waking up, we do find some of the continuations of those emotions after waking up. That means feeling calm after a joyful dream. So if you have a good dream, you feel very joyous while you wake up. And even if you have a very bad dream, you wake up frightening, you wake up with shivering, right? So these experiences or these emotions are very much real. They are in the realm of Jagrata Avastha. But the reason of this emotions or these outcomes is something which is which you have experienced in the Swapna Avastha. So the subject of the Swapnavastha, that is a snake or anything, that is not real, but still the emotion that it actually generates is real. So the fact that emotions from dreams can carry over into a waking state, like the lingering sense of peace or bodily reactions like trembling, this indicates that these emotions that were experienced as real during the dream. So thus, the dream objects and events, even though they are illusory or they are subject to illusion, they were subjectively real enough to evoke true emotional responses. That is one thing. And not only that, even further, they state that Atayeva Praninam Punarapi Sukhajanaka Vishayagochara Swapne Vancha Atadrishecha Swapne Dveshaha Pradveshaha. So people, that is why, often wish to experience pleasant dreams again, like meeting a loved one, and even they like to even avoid unpleasant ones, like encountering danger. So this desire shows that dream experiences have meaningful effects, even though they are illusory. So how dream experiences they arise is because in dreams, emotional responses such as happiness or fear arise from mental impressions, that is the samskaras that they have, such as seeing or touching something. For example, seeing a loved one in a dream brings joy, and being bitten by a snake, obviously it generates fear. So these experiences don't come from actual sensory input, because what is Swapnavastha? Swapnavastha essentially is that avastha or that state where our sensory organs or our kinetic organs, they do not function. So the sthula sharira, the jnanendriyas and the karmendriyas, they do not function, but only manas or mind itself will be active. So there, whatever we actually experience as a sensory experience, that is bitten by a snake or touching someone, that cannot be real because we don't have any working sensory organs at that point in time. So whatever that experience that we are actually having in the state of dream is not real. That is one thing. But they come from certain samskaras, but their effect is something real. So the objects in a dream are not truly real, but they are just creations of the mind because of samskara, purva samskara, and udbodhaka and adrishta. At times it could be adrishta or anything else that could trigger this particular dream. These sensory like experiences like seeing or touching in the dream are purely imagined, yet they give rise to genuine expressions or emotions. Like, touching a loved one's hand in a dream feels comforting, even though the hand and touch are illusory. Similarly, touching a snake in a dream also causes fear, even though the snake is not real. So just like emotions arise from real interactions in waking life or in Jagrata Avastha, they can arise from imagined interactions in dreams also. So this similarity explains why dream emotions feel so convincing and leave lasting impressions. So therefore, it is not essential that the object that actually needs a functionality or a purpose to it, or arthakriya karitvam, that doesn't essentially need to be real in nature. So further, they even give another example. Tatha jagare ghatadi prakasana kshama tatratya purushantara nirikshyamana alokavatypavarake sadyah pravishtena pumsa kalpitasya santamasasya prasiddha santamasochitarthakriyakarithvam drishtam. So it's a wonderful practical experience example that they give. So there is a pot in a ghatadi prakashana kshama. So jagrada avastha, in the jagrada avastha, in a room, there is a pot and there is enough light that can actually, illuminate the pot so that we can see. And not only that, there is another person. Purushantara nirikshamana alokavatypavarke. So there is enough light. There is a subject that is ghata. And there is another person who is actually seeing that pot or ghata. So this actually even we also experience when we come into our house, which is having enough light from a very bright day, bright sun. If we actually enter the room, instantly actually we will not be able to see. There will be a very dark layer. Immediately we will not be able to see. Our eyes need some time to actually adjust to the lighting that is there. So essentially, when the light is lower, than comparing to the light which is there, brighter light which is outside. So this actually we experience. So this is called as santamasa. Santamasa is a pure, pitch dark, which we can call it as. So this pitch darkness we experience. Does this pitch darkness happens to be real? No, it is kalpita. So that is kalpita, that is not real. So why are we not being able to see? Why are we not being able to see the ghata which is being seen by the other person? So essentially the case is made in such a way that other person is able to see. It is only that you are not able to see because of a illusory that is which is barring you to see the object. So this santamasa or this instant darkness is something that has been created, which is not real. And even that also serves a purpose to it. That is, it is actually hindering your sight or to to perceive the ghata. So tena tam prati ghatadhyavaranam deepadhyani. After some certain time, it actually the santamasa or the hindrance actually goes away, and you will be able to actually see the ghata. So here, if we see, even though the object like the santamasa or the darkness is being created, is illusory, not real, but the what you call the purpose of that darkness is real. So even though the object is not real, the purpose that it serves to be real is very much experienced by us in our life. So similarly, it is not essential that whatever objects that are there in this world need to be real in nature. So in Advaita Vedanta, the functionality or the arthakriya karita of objects, even if they are considered unreal or mithya, they actually happen to be there. It addresses the so here what happens is it anyetu pana avagahana dhyarthakriyayam jaladi swarupamatram upyogi. So in order to serve a purpose, what is essentially needed? Do we need the ultimate reality of that particular object or something else? So therefore, they argue that the functionality of things or arthakriya karita, like water's ability to quench thirst or facilitate bathing, depends only on the object's essential nature or swarupa. It has nothing to do with its satyatva or ultimate reality. So for example, real water can quench thirst, but because of its inherent nature, not because of its ultimately true or real nature. So it has something called as udakatva, waterness in it. That is actually the cause for its ability to quench thirst. It has nothing to do with with its state of reality. Whether it is ultimately real or not is not actually very much needed. So if we see that, like the what you call the mirage, right, which we call it as marumarichika. So mirage, water, or shukti rajata, the silver, that way we actually have the illusion of silver in the, you know, the shell. They don't serve the same practical purpose of real water or silver, right? So we cannot actually quench our thirst by the mirage water, because mirage water essentially is not there. It is only an illusion that happens to be. So what is the artha kriya karita? When can the water actually serve the purpose of water is only if it is having its essential nature in it. So which we call it as udakatva jati. Having udakatva jati will actually help fulfill the purpose of that particular udaka or water. So so essentially, if we see, so that is why the framework of three types of reality satta is agreed by the Advaitins. That is the pratibhasika satta, that is illusory, vyavaharika satta, which is empirical, and paramarthika satya, which is absolute. So ultimate truth or paramarthika satya padartha is only Brahman, nothing else. So therefore what happens is, the illusionary, whatever is subject to illusion, actually fails its functionality. So for example, you might mistake a mirage for water or silver in a shell, but when examined closely or tested for functionality, these illusions break down. So the mirage water cannot actually quench thirst, nor the shell silver, that is the shukti rajata, cannot actually be used for trade, or they can be, you know, changed into an ornament or something. So this breakdown is due to the absence of the essential qualities, that is waterness or wetness in the water and malleability of silver. So which actually require to fulfill their functions. So sometimes, therefore, an illusionary object might appear to serve a minor or imagined purpose, like creating a fleeting belief. For suppose, mirage water might briefly guide someone towards it, but it fails when tested for real. So from a distance, we may find that there is a water. So this illusion of mirage water will serve a purpose to not actually quench thirst, but you are thirsty and you need water. It will only fulfill some of the functionality, that is to go until near the mirage, or only after testing it you find it that there is no real water. This apparent functionality is really limited to the realm of illusion, that is the pratibhasika padarthas, and does not extend to the real world practicality, that is the vyavaharika satta. It doesn't happen. So just like illusions, the empirical world. So therefore what is here it is being therefore concluded is, even though the functionality is real, the subject may not be real. So just like illusions, the vyavaharika world also can seem functional and purposeful, but is ultimately mithya. So when we are calling about mithya, when we are saying it to be mithya, that is traikalika abadhyatvam. So all in the three times, that is the present, past, and future, both in the three realms of time, it is essentially what we call it as it is not real. So this is what is mithyatvam, and this mithyatvam is essentially even there as in the pratibhasika world, even in the vyavaharika world. But this vyavaharika world, even though it is mithya, it can actually serve its purpose until the Brahma Bhava Bhakti. So therefore, the Advaita Anubhava, we need to take this to the next level and actually connect it there also, that the Brahmajnanam is essentially mithya. Even though Brahmajnanam is mithya, but this Brahmajnanam will lead to the aparokshanubhuti. So therefore, even though the Brahmajnanam is worldly, that is, it comes in the realm of vyavaharika world, but it serves the purpose of attaining the Brahma Bhava Patti. So therefore, even though the objects may not be real, they may be mithya, but they do serve the purpose, or they do have a functionality to serve. So this is what this brief topic is about. And yadatra saushthavam kinchit tad guroreva me nahi yadatra saushthavam kinchit tad mamaiva name guroh. If there is any virtue, that belongs to my gurus, and if there is any shortcomings, that belongs to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Srinivas, for a very wonderful and succinct lecture on a very important topic, the functionality of Unreal, and a difficult topic also, I would say. Thank you for shedding light and bringing many aspects to our audience. Thank you very much.